Hi, everyone. Today we are so thrilled to welcome Oklahoma's own Gracee Shriver to our interview here on News Channel 8. She started her music journey at 9 years old. Now she is living and working in Nashville. But Gracee, you're from Owasso, right?
Yes, ma'am. Born and raised.
Well, it's right down the street from where we are up here on the hill. And this is the second time I met you. I MC the Cattle Barons Ball, and you were the musical act of that amazing event raising money for the American Cancer Association. I don't know if you remember, but I certainly remember you, and you were fantastic.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, that was an awesome event. We had a blast. But yes, that was the first time. I'm glad we're getting to speak again. This is exciting.
Yes, well, you've come so far. I want to give our audience just a little bit of your history. What's your origin story? You started learning to sing and play guitar around 9 years old?
Yeah, so I started singing lessons. My sister was the one that started them. She hated them, cried, so I snuck my way in. And then I just it took off from there. The very next year, I played the Bluegrass Chili Festival in Claremore. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of that, but I played it and I won a guitar in a drawing. And then the very next week, I signed myself up for guitar lessons. And I was 10, and my mom came in and they're like, she signed herself up. So I just took off, and my parents started bringing me to Nashville. I started writing, really getting in the scene, playing all over Oklahoma. Of course, like there's so much musical talent in Oklahoma. Even coming here, everyone's like, yeah, Oklahoma. But yeah, I just spiraled from there, and now I live here full time, and I'm doing it.
How wonderful. Who are some of your early influencers when it comes to music? I know you love to sing some of the songs that we grew up with. So, what were some of your favorite songs and singers?
Yeah, I think definitely being from Oklahoma, Carrie Underwood, Reba, Blake Shelton, a lot of them were just always, being talked about. Also Dolly and Miranda. Miranda was a big songwriting influence for me growing up. I love the way she articulates things. Songs like Tin Man, Bluebird, were just big, big influences for me. But Carrie always has a soft spot in my heart because she's an Okie girl.
Yes. Now, when it comes to getting to Nashville, you said you would go to Nashville with your mom. She would take you there.
Yes, yeah, my parents would load us up in the car, drive us to Nashville, and they would basically drop me off at well, they wouldn't drop me off, I guess they'd come in, but they would drop me at little bars and venues, and I would just be like, "Can I play?" And then they'd give me a 4-hour slot, and I would sit on the stool, and I was like 12 at this point, playing all of these slots. My parents would watch me and drive me to the next one, and I just started making connections.
Wow, where did that confidence come from at 12 to sing on a stage in Nashville?
I think it was more just being naive. Like you
Sure.
don't know what you're getting yourself into, I guess. And I just knew I loved music. And my whole mom's side is super musical. And my grandpa has 9 brothers and 1 sister. And they, or maybe more brothers than that, to be honest. And they all play music. So that was what our family did. And that's all I knew. So I think I just took a leap.
I get it. I get it from my own standpoint. Now, The Voice. What got you into The Voice? And you were on season 17 of The Voice. And how was that for you?
The Voice was awesome. I auditioned when I was 16 years old. And so I started the show at 16, and it was a little hectic, wrapping up high school while also being on a television show, while also entering into COVID. So it was like a hot mess at once. But I made so many friends, definitely threw me into the industry in a different way. You learn to get thick skin. And I got a lot of helpful advice from the coaches, which was nice.
Yeah, what was that like? Kelly and Blake, what did you learn from all of that?
Yeah, definitely. So I was on Kelly's team a lot longer than I was Blake. So I feel like we had a little more of a bond just because we got more off camera time together. But she was so supportive. I think also her doing a show really helped. And she was like a mom figure. And every one of my vocal insecurities or things that kind of made me different, that I thought was wrong, she really hyped up, which I think also set me up for success moving forward because I just replay her comments in my mind of like, you don't have to be like everyone else. You don't have to belt like Carrie. You don't have to belt like her. I mean, for crying out loud, she's amazing. And
Hmm.
I remember being in one of the practices and I almost started crying because I was like, I have a really low raspy voice for a girl. Like, that's not really what people tend to listen to. She was like, I avoid low notes. And she was like, I don't want to sing low. Like, that's crazy that you can do that. So it was just helpful.
Yeah, we all have our qualities, and that's what's so great. You have yours, and you have a beautiful, low, raspy voice, yet it is so powerful. So let's talk a little bit about your songwriting. Fake Blonde, I'm not a blonde, but my daughter and I, neither is she, but we were kind of jamming to that this morning, prepping for this interview. So where did that song come from besides your beautiful hair?
Yeah, yeah, so I write like all the time, every day. So I was at one of the publishing companies and it was actually a guy that was in the room with me and another girl that's my friend. And she had gone out to the bar the night before and we were standing around and this guy had approached her and she kind of politely declined him. And then about like 20 minutes later, he walks up and he's like, wait, you declined me, and I just realized like I was wasting my time. You're not even a real blonde, which we thought was hilarious because I feel like at this age, like 90% of women
Yeah.
are not real blondes. And I was like, yeah, and I have extensions, so I'm very fake haired. But we just thought it was funny, so we wrote a song about it, and then it ended up kind of picking up some momentum, and we released a video with it, which was fun.
I love it. It's a beautiful, fun video, but it's a great message. I mean, it's kind of like you own it. And in today's world, like you said, most of us don't have the original color of our hair, and you're owning it and you're proud and you're supporting all the other ladies out there, whether they're fake blonde or brunettes or who cares. So it's a beautiful
Exactly.
song.
Thank you.
Now, tell me a little bit about When He's Round. Where was that song? Why was that song created? And where was that music video shot?
So that one was actually shot in Franklin, Tennessee. It was super fun. We like got some actors involved in that one as well. And that one was actually one of the first kind of love songs I ever released. I'm I'm in a happy relationship. I don't know why it's hard. I feel like, and everyone around here says this, it's harder to write love songs than it is
Hmm.
breakup, and maybe because you have to be more like vulnerable. But yeah, that one was super fun. We got to film that. I'm actually engaged now, and that's not my fiance in the video. He was a little bitter that he didn't get casted, but yeah, it was one of my first love songs
Yeah,
released.
well, congratulations. We saw that on your Instagram story. It looks like a beautiful engagement. Was that in Tennessee?
It was in California. He actually flew out to one of my shows with my whole family, and so they did it right after the concert, which was fun.
Awesome. Well, we got to talk about the Swan brothers. When did you guys first meet? And do you have any fun backstories about them?
Oh goodness, we first met. I want to say I was probably 15, 16 when we first met. Basically, I got off The Voice and I had written this song with a producer out of Tulsa. And I was like, okay, what are the odds? I was thinking of another male that just would really carry, the song. And I was like, what are the odds? So I messaged the Swan Brothers because they were on The Voice too. So I like kind of grew up opening for them at little various shows, and they agreed to sing on the song, and that song's Rain. It's one of my singles out. So that's our first like interaction. And then we've just been buddies ever since. Now I see them around in town at all the events. But they're killing it. They're awesome.
What about a little collaboration, an Okie collaboration? Is that in the works?
Yes, I would love that. I know we haven't collaborated since that single, and I think we've both just been so busy with shows and things, but yeah, I think they live like 8 minutes from me, so I need to just go bang on their door and make them sing with me.
Now, talk a little bit about Wanda Jackson. She's a legend here in Oklahoma, from Maud, Oklahoma, actually. So, what was it like meeting her and working with her?
She's amazing. Like, honestly, such a powerhouse for women in country, especially. Just her story of paving the way, even outfit wise. I mean, I'm a big outfit girl. I love the glitter. I love Boots, and being able to meet her not only for her amazing songwriting and vocals, but also just how she paved the way of being able to kind of like open the door for women to wear the glitz and glam and kind of set themselves apart. When I met her, I actually, there's like a kind of a funny story. I just released a song called Yodel Hee Ho, and that was inspired by her because not the song, but the yodeling, because I had never yodeled and they made me learn basically one of her songs, and I had like 2 weeks. I had to learn to yodel. And when I was visiting with her, she was like, I was like, man, you can really yodel and that's hard. And she goes, yeah. When I was little, my dad would put me on a pony and make me talk, and then like, saying like a little joke. I was like, yeah, funny. But I actually ended up writing that song, getting to produce it. So she is amazing. That was a blessing for sure.
Well, she's the queen of rockabilly, and I do love how you are embodying and embracing the glitz and glamour with the boots
Yes.
and the short skirts and the sequins.
Yeah.
So keep that up. Now, talk a little bit about the Oklahoma's Women of Song project. What was that like?
That was so awesome. I think it's so cool that Oklahoma, because there's so much musical talent, especially with women in the state, that they embodied that. I got to meet so many amazing women doing that project. We had a blast. We got to actually perform at Cain's, which, of course, is an iconic Oklahoma venue. So yeah, that was an awesome project. Honestly, anytime someone asks me like, what are your accomplishments? That's like at the top because it was so fun to get to say, hey, all of these women came from Oklahoma, including people like Wanda. So having them all be a part of it was fun.
Now, what's life like for you in Nashville? Tell me a little bit about the day in the life of Gracee. What time do you get up? What do you eat? Where do you go? Do you perform every night? Are you rehearsing? Are you practicing? Are you writing? What's your life like?
Yes. Yeah, so I'm definitely an early bird. I think my dad kind of ingrained in me that like you're wasting daylight. So I get up and I'm not the best at breakfast because I am living on my own. But I have writes every day. So basically I write at the publishing companies. I am touring. A lot of my touring is more on the weekends than during the week. So basically I'm writing two a days at Sony, Warner, Riser House, all of those companies. And then there's events every night because it's Nashville. So we might go see like I'm going to the CMA party next week with Sony, and so you just go to these events. It's really weird. That's my life. But I go to those things, and then I tour on the weekends. So we might fly to California, Texas, wherever, and then come home.
Oh, so you mentioned a CMA party for Sony. Gosh, tell us about
Yes.
that. How fun.
I know, it's so fun. Yeah, I got invited to go with them to one of their little, after parties, and so it'll be like Miranda, Megan Maroney, Ella Langley, Dylan Marlowe, some of them, and so I'm gonna
Wow.
go hang out and just have fun and celebrate all the talent from this year.
I bet that's so fun picking out your outfit. Like, what am I going to
Oh yeah.
wear to the CMA party with Miranda?
Exactly. Yeah, that's like my first. Maybe it should be the first thing that goes through my mind, but I'm like, Mom, I think I need to go to the mall.
Yeah, right. Now, let's talk about the CMA Awards. They're going to be airing on News Channel 8, November 20th. We're excited about that. So, how has the CMAs shaped your life? Do you remember watching them every year? Is that something you and your family would do? And do you still watch them?
Yes, every single year. And I think being in the city now too, it's such a cool experience. Not just every award show. It's just such a big hype. And being in the room, I mean, I'm writing with a lot of the writers that are actually nominated for CMAs and Grammys this year, which is so crazy because people don't see that side of it a lot as well. It's not just the artists, it's the songwriters and the musicians.
True.
So it's always a cool hype, even like these parties. It's just a big celebration for everyone. And I grew up watching, and I mean, I think Lainey's hosting it this year, which is amazing because she's just a powerhouse. But yeah, it's so cool to watch people just take off on those, and fingers crossed within the next couple years you might see me on the carpet. We'll see.
Yes, why not? You are on your way. So, are there any nominees that you're especially rooting for in the CMAs?
I think I'm always a Lainey fan, I'm not gonna lie. I also feel like Cody Johnson, with his album Leather was like a top tier project. Dirt Cheap was probably one of the best written songs that I've heard in several years. So I'm really pushing for them.
Now, you grew up with people like Miranda Lambert, like you mentioned, and what do you think about country music today? I mean, there's definitely a cross genre exploration going on with it, considering people like Wanda and where we've come from. So, what do you think of country music 2024?
I probably have a hot take. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, keep it country," and I'm definitely one of like those that loves the country roots, but I also think there's some beauty in people being able to explore different things with it. I mean, you have the Kelseys, you have the Mirandas who sometimes lean rock, and sometimes some of my voice leans rock as well. So definitely, I think if at the core you're keeping those country roots, being able to explore a little bit of it, it's been fun to witness it all. You can definitely hear the '90s influences, the '80s influences, but also some other, like fun pop and rock pieces.
Now, give me some advice for our young viewers out there. My daughter is soon to be 11 and she takes singing lessons. And you started at 9. So, for our young, aspiring artists, singers, and like you mentioned, writers out there, let's encompass all of it. What advice do you have for them?
I would say it sounds cliche, but just stay true to yourself. I think, especially if this is a path you're pursuing, sing the songs that you feel, write the songs that are true to you, and then also don't let, if you pursue the industry, don't let them try to change you because it's going to happen and you're going to have those people that try to navigate you in certain ways. But I personally lean a lot on my faith. So as long as you're praying about it and you're making everyone else feel special in the room, he's going to bless you. And just have fun. Have fun, because it can get so scary at times, but it's really just a gift that you're supposed to use. So enjoy it.
Well, Gracie, how do you stay grounded? How do you stay grounded in a world where there's a lot of competition, where there can be some interesting, nefarious acts going on? I don't know what it's like in Nashville, but like you said, I mean, you can get really hyped up into the glitz and glamour of it all. But so, personally, what is your process of staying grounded while you're rising to fame?
Yeah, I definitely think my family is a big part in that. Being able to come home and be with them and go out to Stillwater where all my family lives is also kind of nice. But I mean, my number one thing is my faith and just knowing that I have a bigger purpose outside of music and that I was given this gift. And, not everyone's gonna like my voice and my songs, and that's okay. But as long as I'm doing something I'm proud of, then I gotta keep that at the forefront.
Beautiful. Do you have any exciting projects you're working on or anything in the works that we can keep our eye on?
Yes, I do have a single releasing in January. So that one's really exciting. I'm announcing that pretty soon. So you guys are the first ones to know. And I also have a worship song coming out at the beginning of next year, which is something I've never done. But yeah, you guys will have to stay tuned for both of those. It should be a fun kickoff to the new year.
Yes. Now, are you coming home for the holidays? When are you coming back to Oklahoma?
Yes, I'm a big family girl. You can't keep me away. So I'm gonna be back for Christmas. So and hopefully Thanksgiving I'll be back. But yeah, for Christmas for sure. And my mom's birthday's on Christmas. Her and Jesus. Can't get better.
Your mom and Jesus.
So,
That's great.
yeah.
That's great. Well, what do you have to say to all the viewers here on Channel 8 who are big fans and supporters of you?
Well, thank you guys so much because you guys do truly support me. Oklahoma as a whole supports me. I appreciate it. I couldn't do a lot of this stuff without you guys. So thanks for streaming the songs and taking the time to talk even this morning. Like it means a lot to be able to visit with people from back home.